Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode from Picture to Build. We're on the second episode today as we finished our first build on this lovely series, and we'll be starting our second build. This one behind me, to be exact. If we take a closer look, this is one of the more poppy buildings that we're going to be dealing with way more colors and variants that we can use for different architecture compared to the more blander build that we had before, which still, may I point out, came wonderful. We are going to be working on a different build style, and completely different way of taking this build. So, without a second to lose, let's get into this. As with every build, I want to start with making a palette. As you can see, this build is very yellowy, so I want to use yellow blocks. But I don't see it being very saturated blocks like the yellow wool or the yellow terracotta. Possibly the terracotta could be used in parts like this, but seeing that it goes into a more gray for the shadow, I'd rather be open to use actual more accurate forms of displaying the light. So what I'm going to do is probably use either some oranges just to get that little bit of contrast. Let's say in the bottom part where it looks like the wall paint is probably like deteriorating or something like that. You can possibly use some resin. But as a main block palette, I think I want to use sulfur, punctured sulfur, some end stone possibly. But technically, it goes really orangish but yellow at the same time. So I think if we just remove the end stone and possibly use, I don't know, maybe some of this. If we can possibly get some birch too into it. Just like that, we still get that whole color scheme. But I think if we keep it like that, it won't be too bad. We could use some bamboo. If we get, for example, this and use it over here. We could use sponges. Sure, maybe we can use it right there. And we get the potent sulfur over there. Sulfur and birch. So too bad of an idea. Maybe these can be used for our highlights, while these two and these can be used for shadows, and these for the mains. And these for the more intricate, small, little roughened details. And we're also going to be dealing with a lot of dark colors. So I think I want to use mainly dark oak for the whole wood design. As you can see on the railings, the patio, the doors, and the roof, and the windows. So stuff like fences and gates would be used. Drop doors a lot. Possibly even some of these. Okay, let's see. Okay. I think also if we wanted to sing that over here, we have a window open. We could use possibly acacia fences. That might be good. And yeah, I think that's all right. I think we can start by laying out the foundation. I want to start by just laying it out with some sulfur blocks over here. We can see possibly over here we'll use like 4 blocks and here 3. Or we could use, let's see, we do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's just say this is the space for the window, 3. And in the middle between them we have 2. That is also true, but the thing is, I think, sure, if it's roughly the same, we could do is have these also before. This two, here three. Repeat it again. Um, then let's see. We have another one, two, three, four. I think it's too wide to be honest. It's not too bad, but I think if we reduce the amount, not sure where we can reduce. I mean, possibly this is a two, but I think these are best to be two by twos. Let's see, let's see. Not really sure because these can technically become one by ones if we use the these, compare them to that. It's not too far off. So what I think I want to do is I think I'm just gonna keep it like this. We'll see then. Maybe we just reduce this. So they're all three by threes. And like that we'll get one off. Now we can start by raising the actual walls. Um so yeah, let's see. We have I can say that we have like at least 4 blocks up. Like that. Let's see. Because yeah, then these can be three by threes if we do them like that. And if we wanted to just to give them that rectangles feel, we can raise it by at least one to give them that sense of rectangleness, and then the center part will still be 3 by 4 technically if that's going to be a door. Yes, I think that'll suit it best. Then what we can do is then raise another one because we have another part over here for where the roof will then collect everything together. Then we have now we have this balcony, so I'm probably going to mark that out with some of this. Let's say it just looks like that. And we have the railings, of course. And then we have another row. So if we were to do this, and raise that, so we have the doors. So actually let's sack this by one like that. And remove all of these. So like that we have the room for making the doors, which I'm going to do one by threes, one by twos. Let's see how that's gonna look. If we get, for example, this for the door, that is approximately 2 spaces in. So we do that, for example, and then 2 spaces between each of them. So let's do 1, 2, 1. We'll mark where the window is. 1, 2. And now the thing is with that, there's a door here. So I think this is gonna have to be 3. 3. The door would be here. So I think if we, let's see which part's longer. I think if we just do, I mean, we could do these 2 by 2. Let's just say they're 2 by 2. And maybe we extend them by 1 with the trap door. Like so. So we still get that sense of tallness. Then we use these, just do them regular like this. So they're approximately the same height. And we can also do this the same way. Actually, let's remove this now. If we do 2 here, we're left with that in the middle. Now the thing of doing it 2 by 2, now we can do it here. So what we'll do is we'll probably use some sulfur to shorten the walls a bit. So we're given with a 2 by 2 in the middle, while still keeping the odd shape we like. Let's see. I think that's about right now. And we can actually raise this by 1, so then it's like that. And now we can flip it on the other side. I think we would just do some of this and that. And copy that directly. And now we need to raise it a bit. So let's say we raise by 1 block. So let's collect all of these under one wall. And raise it about like that. And we can also raise this. No, wait. If we need to do another balcony, we'll do this. Or actually, would. Quite tricky. I mean, let's keep it like this just for the facade's sake, and we'll put it a bit more over here, like that, and extend it twice outwards so we can collect them together. And now we can work on the last row of windows, which is practically the same thing apart from the fact that these aren't doors. So this will be raised till here, where we can see that the railing and the thing meets with the same place. So we can just do windows over here. And they're right above these. And then we need to make another door. So if we were to do that and that, we raise this. We've got that. All we have to do is just raise the ceiling, the wall once again. And we have our nice facade, which we need to turn up into a... Okay, now that I realize there's actually, it goes up, so it cuts over here. Let's say into a very dark palette, so just so we don't mix up with the blocks, I'm going to use some of this. Let's not use a directional block, so let's get some soul soil, and we'll do this and raise it. So let's say they're 2x2s. Let's see, we do that. Actually, it's going to have to be lowered. So if we move that down by one, then replace this. And we collect it all towards the center. Which has actually, we stop at the middle part over here. Right here. So that might still be fine if we just do it just like that. And we copy it like that. So I think if we just do clone towards the center, flip. Like that, we have this. Of course, this is just a rough sketch of everything. Okay, now we have our facade to a certain extent. We can technically, let's see, over here, have a window open, so we'll keep that like that. And we can actually do this. So you get that shutter open already. So yeah, now we can start by doing some details. I think I'm going to start by just putting some of these in the corners, just hidden away, not too much, but just there so we know like it's old, run down still, giving us that like orange tone that we have compared to this over here. And what we can use actually is the real resin itself. So yeah, we got resin clumps, can actually replace. And we can do some of this. Like that, we get that contrast. And I think if we use this over here, I think it'll blend better. And yeah, I think that's what we can do for now. Let's see how long the stream's been running for. So yeah, exactly. We can just do some final little bit of detail before we can cut off, and we can use a lot of sponge because it's quite a nuisance block. But it's not too bad for where we're using it right now. Need some darker blocks possibly. So over here we can see that there's way more shadow because of the whole balcony. So the thing I want to do is use possibly some of this to contrast it. We could use and also some granite. So like that, we get that little bit of contrast, which I don't know which glass we can really use to blend in. Let's try with the yellow and the orange. Um, to the, right, that's the problem with it. We could use white also. Try with the orange. Maybe it's a little more. Yeah. What we can do now. Yeah, let's see. Here it's not too bad to be honest. I think I want to remove a bit of these because it's quite yelling out. So possibly just using the honeycomb instead of the resin in this part. We don't get too much of it.